Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. Just for the record, recapping on the first 100 days in office of the 13 members of the House of Assembly. Now, all 13 were invited. If you happen to not see a member of the House of Assembly, that is perhaps because they were unavailable or chose not to. Today, I'm honored to be joined by the Deputy Premier of the Virgin Islands, Minister for Financial Services, Labor and Trade, the Honorable Lorna Smith OBE. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
The last time we sat in this very exact forum, you were asking the people of the territory to give you an opportunity to serve, which they have. Some 3,578 put you at the second highest as it pertains to the at-large representation. Let's put that into perspective. What has the first 100 days in office been like for you?
Well, Ron, I am very grateful, first of all, to the people for having their confidence in me, in electing me to serve. And if I can begin with that evening, it was a very exciting evening when I realized that I had won. And won, as you said, with the second highest number of votes. I promised the people when we got into the House of Assembly, that first day that we were in the House of Assembly, I thanked them and I promised not to let them down.
Okay.
And so that promise continues. It's been how do I put it? It's been exciting.
Okay.
It's been hardworking. It's just never stopped. And there are challenges, of course. But if I could look at the good things that have happened to me in the first 100 days, I think within the first month of being elected, the Premier invited me to accompany him to the United Kingdom, to the Joint Ministerial Council.
Yes.
And at that meeting, I did invite the United Kingdom and the overseas territories to the British Virgin Islands so that we could host them at an illicit financial services. In fact, it's called an illicit finance dialogue.
And that's happening to actually taking place at this moment.
That's happening as we speak. And I hope that persons who are watching this would go online and watch the opening ceremony. It was very impressive. His Excellency the Governor spoke, the Premier spoke, and I spoke, as did the Deputy Head of the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. And we have representatives from as far away as Gibraltar. Bermuda didn't attend because of Hurricane Lee. But it's been going very, very well. And that finishes tomorrow.
Okay, so that's just for the public's sake. That's September 12th to the 14th.
September 12th to 14th. That's correct. Another thing that I'm very proud of is that I went from district to district within 2 months of being elected, and I met face to face with our businesses.
In all 9 districts?
And in all 9 districts. So I would say I met well over 200 persons, because if I include the financial services sector, which I also met
Correct.
with, and then I met with other persons, not just one-on-one, but I had meetings with other sectors. And I heard from them directly what needed to be fixed in terms of government, supporting them and providing the kinds of support and assistance that was needed. So I did that, and it was a very rewarding period. I heard a lot from the business community in terms of what needed to be fixed, where I could fix things very quickly. For instance, if you look at the labor department, people complained about the fact that they had to go in to or not that they had to go, yes, they had to go in, but that you could not have work permits collected from the department by anybody.
Correct.
Nowadays, as long as the person is authorized, they can collect those work permits.
Excellent.
So that was one thing that was complained about. Another thing that people complained about was the length of time it took for work permits to be processed.
Where are we with that?
I am pleased that once all the information is in, it takes 6 weeks for work permits to be processed. Now, there will be times when, there might be issues that the labor officer or the labor commissioner might want to raise, and it might take some time. There might be the need for an inspection to take place, for example. And again, that might take a little longer. But I'm pleased that overall it takes around 6 weeks for an application for a work permit to be processed.
Understood.
And again, people, if they are looking for work permit exemptions, or if they require a temporary work permit, this had also been an issue where temporary work permits, it would be, let's say you have let's say you're in a supermarket and something went wrong with your freezers on a weekend. It might take a little while for their temporary permit to be issued. We've worked through that so that that will no longer be the case. So I'm very pleased with what has happened. I should also add, Ron, that I met this, I have to say, but we are progressing it very nicely, which is a labor management information system.
Okay.
So that what we're working on is the digitalization, if you want to call it that. People will no longer have to use paper in terms of making applications.
Understood.
You could apply online for your work permit. And again, this would speed up the process. What we are waiting for to complete that process really is the portal for payment to be completed.
Understood.
So that is going well. I expect that to happen any day now. So that is the Labor Department. We continue to be challenged in terms of the numbers of staffing. But, we are also working on that. Of course, the sister islands also have their challenges also on the sister islands in terms of the fast turnaround for work permits. But we are doing our best to make sure that these are dealt with as quickly as possible. In terms of workforce development, because it's not just about work permits, it's about making sure that our people are prepared, that they are trained. We are working on a mentorship program. If we widen it now to financial services, we have had a number of persons coming out of secondary school.
That is correct.
Who have been trained or who have been exposed to financial services at the H. Lavity Stout Community College. And as recently as Monday of this week, that would have been on the 11th of September, we had about 20 plus students graduate from the BVI FinTech program. I attended that program, and I have to tell you, Ron, I was so proud of the presentations, the capstone projects that were presented to the audience.
Stay tuned for more Just for the Record right after this. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
That line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay. I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
I mean, for instance, the one that comes to my mind immediately is one that kind of competes with say MoneyGram. It's a BVI centric program so that you could send the money, transfer funds very very easily from the British Virgin Islands. It requires more work, of course, but it shows you that with the use of fintech, what can be done.
And this was
Of
through
course,
the Robert Matavius Institute.
The Robert
Okay.
Matavius Institute. That's very correct. So I'm very pleased with the progress that has been made, and I should say this. This is one of my challenges and one of the drawbacks for me, Ron, is that I'm really working with a ministry with 3 persons.
Okay.
The permanent secretary in the ministry, Mrs. Patrona Davies, an excellent permanent secretary. And I have Miss Felina Moss, who is working with me as well. And that is the extent of my staff. So all this I have been able to accomplish, of course, with their support, I should say. That is one of my frustrations, the fact that I still have not been able to move into a permanent space.
Understood.
I mean, I have identified a space, but one of my challenges is the bureaucracy that is involved. It's something that I've been a public servant all my life, if you want to put it that way, but the bureaucracy has become even slower.
Well, I'm happy
you want to
that
put it
you've
that
shared
way.
that because
I'll be honest.
once elected, some residents somehow feel that you're automatically in a position to make things happen. And just like you said, the bureaucracy, there's all types of tapes, blue tape, red tape, yellow tape, all kind of tape.
Every
that would
kind.
sometimes prevent you. So in addition to that, what are perhaps some other challenges of governance that you've experienced so far?
One of the areas that I have experienced in terms of challenges, people have certain expectations. Sometimes you even make promises.
Okay.
And then you realize that it might take a little longer for you to deliver on those promises, or that the whole process is different. For example, before I came in, elected officials had access to a significant sum of money that was available for the public at their request.
That would be through the public assistance
Through the public
grants?
assistance
Okay.
grants, it's now called. But each elected member did have a certain amount of money that was available for them to give to the persons who are in need. Now, that has been removed completely. And so if somebody is in need of financing, and it could be significant, it could be $5,000, it could be $10,000, it could be smaller. If that is the case, then now they will have to go through the Ministry for Social Development. And I am quite happy to assist persons with that process. I'm quite happy to accompany them to the Social Development Department if they would like me to. I'm quite happy to assist them with filling out the requisite forms to get the kind of support that they need. But now, having said that, though, Ron, you know how people in the BVI are very private.
Private, yes.
And people,
That's a good word.
you know, they don't want to be seen to be asking persons other than the persons whom they elected for support. So while it is a more transparent process, it's a process that is not maximized in terms of people's, you know, ability to access it.
Understood.
Because people aren't always willing to fill a form or to go to the Social Development Department to ask for support. So that is one of the challenges of the bureaucracy, that I shouldn't put it as a bureaucracy, but that is a change that I have.
Brings about some challenge.
Yes, that does, and it's one that I have experienced. I am still hoping that it would be a process that is evolving, because I think that one of the considerations or an issue that was not considered was the fact that this is a community with 30,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tiny community. When you breathe or when you sneeze, I hear it and I know that you are around. It's a tiny community. People value their privacy, and they really would not want their, as we would say in the BVI, they wouldn't want their business to be on the street.
Very true.
And so, you know, maybe it needs to be looked at again. It's something that in the House of Assembly, for instance, or maybe at the cabinet level, it could be looked at so that it's smoother and that more persons can benefit from it.
Understood.
But certainly I am committed to helping people in whatever way I can.
I want to stay there. When the persons reach out to Honorable Smith, when they call you, what are some of the needs and the concerns of the members of the public?
People have, yes, of course, people have come to me with educational needs. I had somebody who came to me with asking for a significant sum of money to help their daughter. You know, it was, of course, an amount beyond what I could contribute to. But where I can contribute, for instance, they're all the back to school programs. I do contribute, you know, from my pocket, so to speak. So there are those educational needs. People come to me with funerals. Again, I contribute to the extent that I can contribute. People come to me with health needs as well, and I contribute to the extent that I can. But you know, people, I don't know the extent to which they understand that legislators' salaries are not the highest. And you really serve because you want to serve, because you want to help your country. And this is what I want to do. And it is certainly not for it could not be for the salary. Because in many respects, you know, those of us who serve are probably worse off for serving in terms of our financial situation.
I have to ask you this, a question that I've asked your other colleagues who've sat down with for this 100 days. Is there or has there been a period over your first 100 days that you thought to yourself or reconsidered your decision to serve in this capacity?
Ron, I would say no.
Okay.
Because Probably I haven't had the time to think twice about
Okay.
it, because I work constantly. I work even in terms of going around to all of the business community. I've had to do it on weekends sometimes. I work most weekends and late into the evening. I work very early in the morning as well, in terms of seeing my constituents, which is the whole territory, as well as, getting prepared for cabinet, getting ready for House of Assembly and so on. So no, I have no regrets about getting into this position of service to the British Virgin Islands.
Stay tuned for more Just for the Record right after this.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turned into 5. 5 months turned into, well, you know I hop. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Has there been an aspect of being a legislator that you're still getting used to? Any particular aspect of being a legislator at all?
It's all around the whole, around the bureaucracy.
Okay.
To be honest, I think most people have heard me say that I want to do 1 term. Because, I'm 70, I'll be, in 10 days' time, I'm going to be 71.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spend the rest of my life necessarily in public service. But it takes so long to get anything done, and there's a lot that I want to accomplish. I want to help young people. I want to help the business community. I mean, when you look at it, Ron, you're a big IT person, so you know what I'm talking about. I think that technology has overtaken us, so to speak.
Okay.
When I look at the business community, for instance, Amazon has taken us over. You're a Mr. Gentleman, Mr. GQ, whatever it is. You're not going to find that suit here.
That's
except
true.
you probably go to 1 or 2, or maybe 1 shop, 2 shops. You just don't find it. So we have to get with technology, for instance, in terms of our businesses. Technology, in fact, one of the areas that comes within my ministry is the whole area of digital transformation. And that's an area that we really have to give very high priority to. In fact, we have already put out a request for proposals for this aspect of the ministry, digital transformation, because it is just so important. We've made some progress in the area of financial services. We have the virtual assets service providers legislation that came into effect. I think it was late last year, earlier this year. So there is some progress there. But there is just so much more. I talked about the fintech. We are going to be doing we hope next spring, and this is a pretty exciting project that we are hoping to bring on stream. And this is what I would call it's not I shouldn't say bring it on stream. It would be 3 days on a cruise ship around the British Virgin Islands. We are calling it Fintech on the Seas.
Okay.
And it's about, bringing together all the brightest and the best in the fintech area for, to learn, to exchange ideas in terms of fintech. A component of that obviously is going to be artificial intelligence.
Yes.
and so on, which is taking over the world. And so that is pretty exciting, but there is a lot that we have to do in terms of going back to the point that I was making in terms of bringing our industry, our businesses along. I have, for instance, been speaking with a member of the business community about, again, in terms of the Amazon comparison that I used. Perhaps it is time, and I'm not saying we're going to do it, but perhaps it is time for us to think of having a huge warehouse, for instance, in Miami or somewhere where people could, order online and the stuff could be delivered to them, and so we get more in tune with where business is going. So business is very, very dear to my heart. Aside from the red tape, we also have to find financial resources for businesses. This is what they want more than they need, more than anything else. And I'm very happy that I will be holding my second meeting with the Banks Association. I had one with them nearly 3 months ago, and my second meeting is coming up sometime in October. And one of the big areas that I expect to be discussing with them is how we could help businesses to really be successful in the territory.
And of course, in providing funding.
Funding is critical. Training is another big area. I talked a little bit about young people, and with all this, young people just want to be successful. It's not just about training. A lot of them would have gone to university, or some of them may have chosen not to. But they want to get on with their lives. They need the financing in order to do that, and they need to know how to manage this financing. So all these things I am very keen to get on with as the minister responsible for business.
Indeed. Now, in hindsight, we have about 3.5 more years of your term. What would you like that to look like in regards to the ability to accomplish a lot of what you've just described?
If I look at my three big areas, if I start with financial services, I would like to see not just an increase in the numbers of incorporation. I would like to see more diversification. I would like to see more value added. I'd like to see people doing a lot more than they're doing. Yes, we are one of the largest incorporation centers in terms of hedge funds. In terms of funds, we are the second largest in the world, second only to Cayman. But I'd like us to do a lot more, and we have to be looking at this whole area of green finance. We have to look at, in our case, it might be blue, because we need to look at how we might use our oceans.
Yeah, blue economy.
The blue economy, and how we might use our oceans better. And there are people in the country already who can support us with that. So that's the financial services piece, or or part of it in terms of course, we also want to make sure that we are always very well regulated. We want to make sure that whatever we do meets the international standard. That has been our history, and we require that to continue. In labor, I am very keen to see BV Islanders become very much involved in the economic development of this country. It will happen through relevant training. It will happen through mentorship. It will happen through good communications with these BV Islanders in terms of what their own ambitions are, because we can't force anybody to do what they don't want to do. So it has to be what they would like to do. I would like to see them, yes, 2/3 of the persons working in financial services are BV Islanders, but I would like to see them rising right up to the top in terms of managing our companies. We have some 150 trust companies, if you want to call it that, corporate service more than providers, trust companies. Let's put it that way. But I would like to see more BV Islanders really managing those areas.
Leadership positions.
In the leadership positions, and there are a number of areas, whether it's in accounting, whether it's in the legal profession, whether it's in insolvency, whatever the areas are. Similarly, tourism. You look at our tourism product. You look at us being the largest bareboat country, or the bareboat or bareboat sector is the largest in the world. We want to see more captains, boat captains.
Stay tuned for more Just for the Record right after this.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is someone gonna get that?
Hello.
Hello. So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry. I've got this.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
We're like the coworker that doesn't eat your lunch.
I'm John. I'm John.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of it then. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must stop cut fun topic.
It's okay. I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Listen.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
We want to see more chefs all from the British Virgin Islands. It's not going to happen every time, but I would like to see more BVI Islanders getting into those sectors.
Understood.
In terms of on land now, I would like to see more BVI Islanders, you know, whether it's front of office or back of office in the hospitality sector, in the hotels and so on. Front of house, not office, but front of house. I want to see more BVI Islanders in those sectors.
Okay.
So it's a matter of training, and we have the facilities. We have the H. Laverty Stout Community College. We have the Robert Nathavius Institute at the college as well. And so there are those opportunities for training. What I will also continue to do, and I've started doing it, is to make sure that our financial services in the industry embrace this training that I'm talking about, whether it's through attachments or whether it's just straight mentoring, as I have been saying. I want to see them do more. In trade, I talked about that. I would like to see us get in tune with the latest technology. I'd like to see us really do more in terms of business development. And Ron, let's face it, in the BVI, we need to find and attract new money to the country. We can't do everything ourselves with what we have. So in terms of our investment portfolio, that has to be developed and broadened significantly.
And creating attractive investment opportunities.
Attractive investment opportunities, you know, giving people incentives to invest in the territory. That those things are a must for us.
Wonderful. Well, you are one of 13 members sitting, and oftentimes it was in a recent interview I sat with Miss Akira Misik of the Turks and TCI Islands,
yes,
who said that in her CPA training, one of the things that she was encouraging legislators, of course, we would have been a part of that CPA training.
Yes, she was very, very impressive.
She said that we sometimes look at our colleagues as the enemy, and which isn't true. At the end of the day, all 13 members should essentially be working towards the goal of the betterment of the people. Within your 100 days, what has your interaction been like with your colleagues, both on the government and opposition side?
If I could take government first, I have had an excellent relationship with them. You know, we have a regular caucus sessions, at least once a week. And of course, there is cabinet weekly. So I have, if you want to put it, I have a closer working relationship with them for those reasons. And on the opposition side, in you know, House of Assembly, we don't meet as frequently, but I certainly respect them. They've all been elected just like me to serve the people, and we work together to the extent that we can. In fact, I would say we work together in the interest of the people. So I think I have a good relationship with both sides. But Ron, there is two things I must not forget, and they don't really come within my
portfolio.
Portfolio. Thank you. I was going to say purview, and that is two things that I talked about when I was campaigning. One was cleaning up this country. We are not going to be able to attract the kind of investment that I just talked about, that you and I just talked about, in terms of new money and new business, unless we clean this country up. It's needed very badly on land and on sea. With my colleagues, we've talked about doing that. Again, the bureaucracy requires requests for proposals. If you're talking about getting the derelict boats removed, so that probably will take a couple of months, and it's very frustrating. But that's what it is, so I have to live with it. That's on the sea. On land, we've talked about that too, and we're working towards that. But it takes a concerted effort to clean up this country and to keep it clean. And everybody needs to be part of it, including Rotary. You're a Rotarian too.
Indeed.
And in terms of keeping it clean, when I say Rotary, I mean in terms of educating the public about the importance of the environment and the importance of keeping it clean. And the other thing that I campaigned on is the infrastructure of this country. You know, it's really, all of us have that experience. It's not only me in terms of the fact that my car is broken.
Yes.
I'm now driving around in a Volkswagen because, you know, my car is broken. And that is not just my experience. This is the experience
across
of
the
everybody.
territory.
Yes. You know, all the potholes, and just the appearance of our streets.
I agree.
It's unacceptable for a country with what is it, the second or third highest per capita income in the Caribbean. Our infrastructure should not be at the level that it is. And we have to do something as a government, as a House of Assembly, indeed, because the House of Assembly has to at the end of the day vote for whatever monies are going to be allocated. But we have to fix our country. You look at the Parkwood Pond, the incinerator, and so on. I believe you've spoken to my colleague, so maybe you spoke to him about it. And I know that he's doing the waste management. He's doing his best to get this fixed. But you know, we've got to just fix our country and just clean it up. Our guts, our drains, everything needs to be cleaned up. And I have to talk about the rules, or the fact that we just flout rules. People sell, and selling is my area of responsibility. People pitch a tent and they sell clothes, they sell food, they sell whatever. It's not right. You know, it's not fair to a person who has to pay rent, pay utility bills, and so on. But more importantly, we must respect how we want our country to look, you know, and we should refrain from, you know, just deciding, well, I need to make a few dollars, and so I must pitch a tent. I'm all for supporting business and vendors and so on, but you know, there's a time and a place for everything.
But within the constraints of the rules.
Exactly. There's a market there. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm sitting, my office is
right there.
And I come outside and I look at it every day, going and coming. And I say, why is it not utilized? I can't fathom it. And the people and I don't think it's very expensive to use it.
No.
But we need to use the facilities that we have. You know, I'm not going to say that a market must be only used for the sale of fruits and vegetables. You go, you've traveled, I have traveled, we've all traveled, and you see all sorts of things being sold in markets. So we should use the facilities that we have and just keep our country attractive, and keep our country as one that we are proud of, and that we want to be able to be proud of here, and when we go abroad and we sell the BVI to tourists and friends, we want to be able to be proud of what we are selling.
Most importantly. Honorable Smith, quite not enough time by far.
No.
With your portfolio and the amount of work that has been accomplished, I may say, during your first 100 days, be sure to expect an invitation from us to continue the conversation.
I would love to come back at your invitation to tell the people about, you know, what I'm doing in an effort to make the country better for them. In fact, what the government is doing in an effort to make this country a better place for everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Viewers, that is all the time we have. You've been watching Just for the record, the first 100 days in office, we were today joined by the Deputy Premier of the Virgin Islands, the Honorable Lorna Smith. Thanks for your time.